So what Jews are doing on this hospital floor, they've been purchased this a whole. They purchased these. They afforded these patients. And sometimes when you're a Latino woman, nurse's aide, PCA, you got to be very gentle with certain patients because they go back and report to their relatives. You did something make you look bad, but they're using me running my mouth to make these Latino women have a problem with me, or Jamaican women. That's part of a Jewish act when they're running games on people. I'm not really your enemy. When you now I'm starting to understand it. Making you feel like you keep your job. I'm not really your problem, but I'm mixed in with people who are in on it, who you got to give a little more attention to, or some shit. I figured out. Like I'll use one. I don't want to say her name, and that's what it is. That's what attention. They make us Jews or manipulators. They need me and the Latino. I will say some shit, and they tricked some Latino people took the fucking payout. Don't get me wrong. They're taken care of. Everybody has where they come from. Some people are more well off than others. People have a right to get jealous. Everybody's community, it could be Chinese. You be wondering where you get the money from. That's what Karen was about. She was guaranteed a deal, wherever she's from. As a Latino woman, there's some kind of a perk in that Elmont housing. Not everybody's getting that money. You understand that when you're Latino? And I figured that shit out. You think it's a Latino black thing, she's taking care of herself. She may have some kind of clout that I don't know about, but there's other people who she's leaving, she don't give a fuck about you. Because the Jews said, they buy that motherfucker. And there's abuse. And that's what happens. And if I'll tell you this right now, I guess if I wasn't single-minded and somebody said, Jeffrey, I probably took some money. But guarantee, so I'm starting to isolate it now. And when other Latinos are here, they purchased Metropolitan Hospital. Fuck it. That's around the time I was there. It may sound stupid, they did. When in Puerto Rico, that's why they felt so bold. They bought that fucking place. That's a manipulator. Jews are manipulators. And they always want to have this influence when they buying shit wherever they go. It's the truth. Some Star Trek shit. And my brother said some shit to me about some old white lady was sending dudes around the corner in Hempstead or out in Queens to rough us up. If it's true or not, I don't know. But I heard about that shit. Just me and him. So we come across as actual pussies. The people in Hempstead. When people get the wrong impression, they look at them, I guess that shit does work. And them dudes be long gone, whatever the fuck, how it works. Somebody had it out for us. Basically. It's their version of a Catholic church in your black nigga neighborhood. Because you don't go to Catholic church, they have a condition where they're going to put your son, who's a little too raunchy, as a black kid, and they will do it. I watched the Michael Tyson story the other day. It doesn't make a difference. They have ways. And don't tell me niggas been taking payouts for a long time who look like these hoodlums and Jews been doing that shit for years. Some probably sworn to it, some, I don't know, I haven't really heard niggas say, yo, but I'm sure they out there. But back to what I'm trying to say to you, they keep purchasing blocks, like airtime, to control, to manipulate on you. And then when you get a history of taking that money, you can't really take it back. Like Judas, because you will get in trouble. And you're like a private snitch. A private one. It's different when the government, Jews can go out there and afford their own snitch. Not a private eye. And say, hey, do me a favor, and I promise you, depending on the number, you're going to be the type of nigga and you're looking back. You ain't going to look back. That's what my stepmother probably did at the Wellington Hotel. I've been telling people that for years. She tried to hook me up with a pedophile, Jewish one too, the top security officer. We was very disappointed. I really held it against her after all those years. And that's the embarrassment. My Jamaican stepmother, and I made a comment about it on Facebook a few years ago. She tried to get mad at me, but it's the fucking truth. My mother wasn't around, but he was a wealthy Jew who was trying to find a kid to sleep with. My stepmother, I can look at it now where she wanted to see if I was going to get down with that shit at first. She had a perk with him. Then you can see the performance, she tried to play it off in front of him like, oh shit. But then I don't know if she was drugging me. That's another thing to get that. We don't never, that's the fucking problem. But it's a true story. My father's dead. My sister should know about it. And my brother, that incident. That's how much she was handling. You get it? Jews buy shit. And then when they buy the story down, they get caught. Like Weinstein or somebody, and I'm starting to notice that shit. With all that motherfucking money you got. I'll caught on to you. And one of the things you realize, you keep working on my guilt conscious. Like, you're making me fight. I noticed that with all that money you got. That's why God has revealed to me today, that's what it is. You know, I have what is called a guilty conscience. And you won't let up on that shit, like most women. And that's how I'm supposed to get married or feel sorry for myself. And now I know how it is done. When you got security guards holding me down, I'm supposed to get a lesson at my age. I'm 50 years old. I'm old enough to be somebody's grandfather. And you're still abusing me. And that's the fucking problem. But you mixing real people with but that's also the Hollywood effect. That's how my Hollywood career stopped after I got the practice and training in, or working with Spike Lee. This person, you actually converted the shit to this thing. And I got this guardianship now. And I see how they did that warfare to me, the federal government. Why I would go for some shit. We're acting. And that's the fucked up part with these doctors. And with a little bit of medication, I'm definitely acting with you. Caught you stinking bitches.